Shortlist?
It was actually this year really difficult because there's such a wealth of talent out there, particularly in this sort of arena of people who are starting to make a name for themselves, who've done a few films, but have yet to become, established stars. So it was a really fantastic meeting. All the jurors came with their own personal favourites and fought really hard for them. So everyone who's made it onto the nominations list I think, really deserves to be there.
Were there actual fights in that room this year?
There weren't actual physical fights, no, I can report no physical fights, but there was a lot of passion and a lot of really kind of strongly held beliefs about who was and wasn't going to be, as it were, a big cinema star, because really that's what the award is about. It's about excellence, but it's also about people who will have long careers and who will be our big film stars in the future.
Is that a difficulty in a way? Do people kind of get discounted if they've become slightly too popular over the last few months or so?
Well, not if it's kind of very recent popularity, but clearly there'd be no point putting someone on the list who was a big major star, because then, well, A, they'd probably win because everyone would know who they were. Whereas this year I feel that the list is very balanced. I don't feel anyone is way better known than anybody else. They're all roughly at the same point in their careers and have got equal chance of winning, which is really exciting.
And as always with these awards, is that kind of, it's good to put the list out now. I can get people going out there seeing the films, can't they? Go and look them up, and that plays a part really in what BAFTA's about in this award.
Definitely, and it's about engaging with the public and getting the public to think about film and to debate it and to champion their own particular favourites. And I think that's what's so brilliant about it, is that people can look at all the clips online and then vote and get their friends to vote, and it creates a real buzz around the award, which is fantastic for us.
And looking at the list, last year I think it was when it was all blokes, wasn't it, last year, and everyone had a word to say about that. This year, thank God, there's a lot of women in there. So
yes, I mean it's a slightly different process this year, because last year's all-male shortlist was actually voted for by the public, whereas this year the nominations were chosen by a jury. But it was true that we just had a lot of really strong women in contention, and you try obviously to get a balance, but in this year we were just sort of the women outweighed the men in terms of where that future star power lay.
And just a quick word on it, we kind of mentioned it, but just rounding up where this sits in the actual BAFTA, it's become a big award on the night. It's one that people actually look to, and like you say, partly because it's voted for by the public, but it is there as part of the BAFTAs now, isn't it?
It is. It's part of the main BAFTA Film Awards, and I think what's so fantastic is it's an award that really can make someone's career. It really does shine a spotlight on somebody at the right moment in their career. And I think if you look back at the past winners, people from James McAvoy through Kristen Stewart, Shia LaBeouf, they've all become major movie stars, and hopefully whoever wins this year, that will be the same for them.
Brilliant.